Brock Lesnar has long been known as one of WWE's most unstoppable forces, dominating opponents with his raw power and brutal suplexes. But the man behind the beastly persona, a figure who once seemed almost invincible, has a much darker side. Outside the ring, Lesnar's life is filled with controversy and unsettling behavior. For years, fans only saw the monster that Lesnar portrayed in WWE. But behind the scenes, there's a history of questionable actions that have raised serious concerns. From alleged drug scandals to backstage misconduct, the story of Lesnar's off-screen behavior is far from the clean, heroic image fans once believed. In fact, allegations have surfaced that include disturbing sexual misconduct, which has added even more layers to the mystery surrounding his off-ring persona. Though Lesnar is far from a typical villain, the truth behind his private life paints a far different picture, one that challenges the idealized version of the beast that WWE fans have come to revere. This video takes you through the shocking revelations that have made Brock Lesnar's life outside the ring just as controversial as his dominance inside it. It's a story that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about the WWE legend. The federal lawsuit against Vince McMahon and Brock Lesnar's involvement. The first shocking discovery connects Brock Lesnar to a much larger and more troubling story. The federal lawsuit against Vince McMahon, the former WWE chairman. In January 2024, Janelle Grant, a former WWE employee, filed a lawsuit against McMahon and the company, with allegations ranging from sex trafficking and sexual assault to physical and emotional abuse and negligence. While McMahon is the central figure in the lawsuit, Lesnar's name was also brought into the fold, albeit indirectly. The lawsuit's amended complaint filed in January 2025 explicitly mentioned Brock Lesnar, though he was not listed as a defendant. Lesnar's involvement comes in the context of McMahon's attempts to retain the former UFC fighter under WWE's banner in 2021. According to the amended complaint, McMahon allegedly directed Grant to create personalized, explicit content for Lesnar in an effort to entice him into signing a new contract with WWE. The complaint includes disturbing screenshots of text messages supposedly sent by McMahon, requesting specific pornographic content for Lesnar. Even more alarming, McMahon allegedly offered Grant herself to Lesnar for a sexual encounter, even going so far as to arrange a flight to Connecticut for Lesnar to meet Grant. Although the encounter never allegedly took place, the gravity of these accusations has cast a long shadow over Lesnar's reputation. In one of the leaked texts, McMahon is said to have explained the situation to Grant, stating, "After I told him that part of the deal was," followed by Lesnar's chilling response, "Lowell, that's your turf. She will be ruined after me and leave your expletive." Lesnar's callous reply, accompanied by laughing emojis, indicated his apparent disregard for the nature of McMahon's actions, suggesting an unsettling complicity in a scheme that blurred ethical and legal boundaries. Brock Lesnar's arrest in 2001, a dangerous brush with steroid allegations. Our second shocking discovery takes us back to 2001, when Lesnar found himself embroiled in legal troubles for the first time. At the time, Lesnar was a rising star in WWE's developmental territory, Ohio Valley Wrestling, OVW, where he trained alongside fellow future stars such as John Cena, Randy Orton, and Batista. Lesnar was 26 years old, weighing in at a muscular 295 pounds, and his physicality was already gaining attention. However, his promising career was nearly derailed when he was arrested in Louisville, Kentucky, on suspicion of possessing large quantities of anabolic steroids. The arrest occurred after police received a suspicious parcel addressed to Lesnar. Upon opening the package, they believed it contained illegal performance-enhancing substances, specifically anabolic steroids. Lesnar was arrested on charges of trafficking in controlled substances, a felony that threatened to ruin his wrestling career before it even fully began. The scandal had the potential to cause irreparable damage to his reputation, especially in the eyes of WWE officials who were already under scrutiny for the use of performance-enhancing drugs within the organization. However, the story took an unexpected turn. After laboratory tests were conducted on the seized substances, it was revealed that the pills in question were not anabolic steroids, but rather legal hormones, which Lesnar's lawyer described as a vitamin-type supplement. As a result, the felony charge was dismissed, and Lesnar was cleared of any wrongdoing. The misunderstanding was clarified approximately 4 months after the arrest, with police officers reportedly apologizing for the mix-up. This incident marked the only known arrest related to controlled substances in Lesnar's career. Although the arrest had the potential to derail his promising wrestling trajectory, it ultimately had little long-term effect. Lesnar continued his training in OVW and made his main roster debut in WWE shortly after WrestleMania 18 in 2002. He went on to become one of the most dominant champions in the company's history, earning multiple world titles and cementing his legacy as a force to be reckoned with in the ring. However, the incident underscores the scrutiny that professional athletes, particularly wrestlers, face in an industry rife with rumors and controversies surrounding performance-enhancing substances. It also serves as a reminder that public perception can be easily swayed, even by misunderstandings that are later cleared up. In Lesnar's case, the legal troubles were short-lived, but the specter of performance-enhancing drugs remains a constant presence in the world of professional wrestling. The 2010 hunting violations in Alberta, Canada. Legal trouble in the wilderness. Our third shocking revelation takes us into the rugged wilderness of Alberta, Canada, where Lesnar found himself in hot water for violating hunting regulations. As an avid outdoorsman with a deep love for hunting, Lesnar was no stranger to the wilds of Canada. However, his passion for hunting led to legal troubles in 2010, when he participated in a controversial hunting expedition in southern Alberta. Lesnar was residing in Alexandria, Minnesota, at the time, and as an American, he was required to hire a licensed outfitter to comply with local wildlife laws. The hunt was filmed for a television segment sponsored by Fusion Ammunition and Trophy Hunters Alberta, which featured Lesnar shooting both a mule deer and a white-tailed deer over 2 days. However, the incident came to light in 2011 after a routine inspection at a taxidermist revealed a serious violation. Lesnar had shot a mule deer buck, but only retained the trophy head, leaving the rest of the animal's edible meat to waste. This practice is a clear violation of Alberta's Wildlife Act, which mandates that hunters utilize all parts of the animal, particularly the meat, to prevent waste. As a result, Lesnar was charged with 3 violations under the act: failing to tag a deer after killing it, allowing the edible mule deer flesh to be abandoned, and illegally possessing the deer in question. The charges highlighted the ethical expectations that come with hunting, particularly in Alberta, where wildlife conservation laws are taken very seriously. Lesnar's case was initially scheduled for a court hearing on December 15, 2011, at Medicine Hat Provincial Court, but he did not attend the proceedings. Instead, a legal representative appeared on his behalf. By January 2012, Lesnar's legal team had reached a plea deal in which he pled guilty to the charge of improper tagging. He was subsequently fined $1,725 and received a 6-month hunting suspension. The remaining charges, wasting the deer meat and illegal possession, were dropped, suggesting that a negotiated settlement had been reached. Brock Lesnar's darker side. Brock Lesnar's legacy in professional wrestling is built on his dominance, athleticism, and sheer force inside the ring. As one of the most feared and respected figures in WWE, Lesnar's persona as a powerhouse has captured the imaginations of fans for years. However, the reality behind the beastly exterior is far more complicated. While Lesnar's career has been marked by unprecedented success, his life outside the ring reveals a darker and more troubling side that casts a shadow over his legacy. The disturbing allegations tied to Vince McMahon's sexual misconduct lawsuit have linked Lesnar to controversial events, including requests for explicit content and a disturbing offer that paints a grim picture of his association with McMahon's alleged actions. This, alongside his past legal troubles, from a drug scandal early in his career to hunting violations in Canada, shows a man who has repeatedly found himself at the center of legal and moral controversies. The implications of these incidents are far-reaching, especially for a man whose public persona has been nearly flawless. These revelations serve as a stark reminder that even the most admired and larger-than-life figures in professional wrestling are not immune to scandals and messy personal lives. As the legal challenges continue to unfold and new allegations emerge, Lesnar's once untouchable reputation may be forever marred. His legacy, once as clear-cut as his victories in the ring, now stands in the shadow of questions and controversies that fans and the wrestling world will likely never fully understand.